Lindsey, Weston, 145th Airlift Wing SARC. Follow me. Come on. And here's my office. Come on in. So I'm the 145th Airlift Wing Sexual Assault Response Coordinator, and what that means is I kind of have two hats to this job. One is program management, so I monitor the base-wide training and make sure that everybody gets their green dot training for the year. And the other side of it is victim advocacy. So if someone wants to come forward and make a report of sexual assault, they can come to me or the alternate SARC, Captain Catherine Rodriguez, or any of our 4 victim advocates. So in observance of Sexual Assault Awareness Prevention Month, which is the month of April, we'll focus on our green dot efforts. Well, here I am with our wing commander, Colonel Troy Drock, and I hear he's got a pretty good green dot story.
I do. So back in my younger days as a young aircraft commander, probably in the situation that most of us are familiar with, there are times when we'd be on the road as a crew, going out to the bar, enjoying our time off, and there were several instances where we had crew members that, you know, near the end of the evening may have had a little bit too much to drink and were in that state where they weren't quite sure what they were doing or what their capabilities were. And as crew members, you know, several times we had to step in to separate that individual from a potential, what we now know as a green dot incident, where, you know, if it was left for too much longer, they could have, you know, ended up doing something, whether physically or mentally, that they would now have to pay the prices for. So, you know, thinking back now, that's a pretty good reason of why we're doing green dot, and to me, that's really the genesis of how, you know, the program started, even way back then.
Absolutely, it gives everybody real-world tools to be that good wingman and be there for each other, because ultimately it's all of our responsibilities.
Sure.
I'm Captain Lindsey Weston. Captain Lindsey Weston.
Hi.
Captain Lindsey Weston. So, if you would please introduce yourselves and where we are.
Hi, I am Staff Sergeant Roger Kirkman.
I'm Sergeant Yerkes.
I'm Sarah Moore.
I'm Airman Lewis.
We are in the 145th Logistics Readiness Squadron Supply Warehouse, where pretty much everything goes and comes for the base and everything that you need.
I'm 4A ma'am, and the IOA person doing computers and apprenticeship.
I work in the ISO dock.
I work here in ISO.
All right, cool. My old stomping ground.
Yeah.
So, do you remember your green dot training last year?
I do remember my green dot training.
Do you remember your green dot training from last year?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
What do you remember about it?
I remember how interactive it was. You guys let us actually interact with you guys and be a part of the class.
Yeah.
I remember the biggest points about transitioning from a bystander into somebody that actually goes into action.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was kind of fun. It was more fun and interactive than the other classes we've been to.
Good, good. So, if you had to guess the numbers, how many women and how many men would you say are sexually assaulted in their lifetime?
If I took a guess, I would say for men, it's probably about 25%. For women, maybe 60%. I had to take a guess.
I'd say about 35% for men and women.
Both the same?
Around the same.
I'd say about 27%, 20% of men.
I would probably say maybe a 1 in 10, 1 in 7, 1 in 10, something like that.
Actually, that's a bit low. The real statistic is 1 in 4 women and
Wow.
1 in 6 men will experience sexual assault in their lifetime. So that's a lot of people. How do you think that would impact our mission?
That would impact the mission tremendously. That would affect the way people work and how we do our daily job and just work together as a unit as a whole.
Honestly, I would think that just from a standpoint of being able to do our mission, it would kind of throw a big wrench in it because of the fact that we don't have the availability to concentrate on what we do every day instead of having to worry about something that is very much preventable.
Yeah, focusing is definitely going to be a big one.
Yeah.
That I can see. They wouldn't be able to focus on their own, mission. They'd be focused on their personal life and what's going on with that whole scenario.
Right, and not just them, but their friends, the people that support them, their leadership that may be trying to help.
So
them
everybody's
recover.
going to be affected.
Pretty much
by it.
everybody in
Okay.
their network around them is going to be involved.
It poses a problem with the mental capacity of the people that it happens to, because if you can't focus on your job, then you can't complete the mission. And it's a snowball effect kind of thing that happens. It's not just, we report it, we do this, and then it stops. It doesn't stop there. It's a full transition for the person that was actually affected.
Absolutely. There's probably many reasons why someone would choose to not come forward and make a report of sexual assault. What are some reasons you can think of?
Retaliation, for sure, from their peers.
Scared to talk about it because they don't know how other people are going to react to them, or if it is something to the effect of they think that there's going to be reprisal from someone higher ranking, if that's the person who actually did the assault.
I would say they feel a victim. They're the victim, so they feel like their personal space has been invaded, so they don't feel that security anymore. They're not confident in themselves. So they take a step back from the rest of us and isolate it.
Absolutely. There's a lot of myths surrounding how a victim should act or feel. So we want to be careful when we assume how someone should present with a sexual assault. But you're exactly right. Fear of reprisal, fear of retaliation, those are real things that prevent people from reporting. So if a good friend of yours comes to you and tells you something happened to them, what would you say to them? What would your encouragement be?
I would encourage them to go visit the victims' advocates or the SARC.
Or the chaplain?
Or maybe the chaplain. Yeah, and the chaplain.
Oh, for me personally, I think the first thing I would do is just listen, because unfortunately there's not as much of that as everything else. Oh, well, what did you do wrong? Or how did this happen? Or in that way, we don't think about listening first and letting the people get it off of their mind and off of their chest just to be heard.
I would try to guess their mindset as far as what type of report they might want to do, and then direct them to the services that we have available on base, as far as a SARC or a chaplain.
First, I would tell them it's not their fault. They're the victim, and it's always the person who does it. It's their fault. So we would talk about that and build their confidence back up. And if they wanted to, I would take them to a higher power, and we would display the information.
Absolutely. So that's my next question, which is where could you go? Who would you take that person to?
Well, I think of a good amount of places we can go. But first, I would go to the chaplain, because the chaplain, you can talk to anything about them.
Absolutely.
You can talk with them about anything. And then we go to SARC. I would take them to SARC and the victims advocate.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. It was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
You're welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Sure.
Great. Awkward ending.
Johnny out.
I'm Sergeant Nikki Morgan, and I work down in LRS, and I'm the lead coordinator. I'm a Sergeant Amanda White with the medical group, and I'm the assistant greenback coordinator. So I was an implementer last year, and honestly, I don't know why I got involved last year. I just knew that I wanted to be involved with the program, Then going to the coordinator school, I really just realized the passion I had for this program. I realized that this is something we can all do. I realized that I wanted to be more than involved, and I wanted to spearhead the change that I wanted to see happen.
I think very simply, it's a problem that's humongous in this Air Force, and it's not just active duty problem, it's not just other bases, it's something that affects all of us to some extent, and it's not something that we can expect everyone else or someone else to take care of. I think I wanted to get involved to do my part and hopefully encourage or empower other people to do their part in fixing this problem that we have.
So green dot is basically a simple choice that you make to make it less likely that a red dot appear at all. And a red dot can be something like stalking or domestic violence or sexual assault. So, you know, hitting your wife or hitting your husband or following someone when they don't want to be followed. So essentially, green dot establishes the fact that interpersonal violence is not okay and that everyone is expected to do their part.
And the less time we're spending responding to sexual assault, sexual violence, the more time that we have to spend on the mission itself. So it's the same concept of recognizing warning signs, whether it's sexual violence or suicide or interpersonal violence of any kind. It's noticing something that doesn't seem right and stepping up and helping out your wingman, having resources, and feeling empowered to do something.
Exactly. It's feeling those spidey senses going off that something's not right in the situation and doing something about it, essentially. Just making sure that we all do something when we feel like something needs to be done.
First thing is to not give up or not let it go. These things don't just go away or dissolve into the air. Find a wingman, find a victim's advocate, talk to the SARC. Definitely don't let it slide. Don't think that this is something that you have to do on your own, that the unit will have your back and will take care of you, and not to give up.
Yeah, and the first thing I would say to them is that I'm so sorry that it happened to you. But cases like that is exactly why this program is around, because things are still happening. And I would tell them that in that moment where whatever happened to you did, you wish someone would have gotten involved for you. And that's exactly what Green Dot is here for you. It's to train 1,500 people on this base to have your back for you the next time anything happens.
So our motto here in the wing is mission first, people always. We cannot accomplish any of our missions here at the wing without our people, which is our most important resource. So during this month, let's make sure we use all the tools that we've learned through the Green Dot program to ensure that we have the assets available in order to complete all of our missions that we are assigned. Thank you.
Always remember, interpersonal violence is not okay, and everyone is expected to do their part.